disastrous, because right now, here in New York, you can calculate at our latitude, we are all moving with the Earth at 800 miles an hour. Due east, because Earth is rotating. If you stopped Earth and you weren't seat belt buckled to the Earth, you would fall over and roll 800 miles an hour due east. It would kill everyone on Earth. People would be flying out of windows.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
Matter tells space how to curve. Space tell... Did I get that right?
The reason that things fall to Earth is because they're more dense and heavier than the air around it. If there was some force that was pulling everything to Earth, then moths and mosquitoes wouldn't be able to just lift up like nothing, okay? None of it makes any sense. What they did is they hijacked the word gravity and they redefined it, and really they didn't even give it a fair definition because it's all nonsense. As you can see, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is supposed to be, you know, the voice for the science world, so to speak, stumbles all over the question. Yeah, I did a little editing, but really this is what the brunt of what he was saying was, is that we don't know. Yeah, because we made some BS up. We told you that you're flying through space at 250 times the speed of a bullet and that there's no cover on Earth, yet there's this imaginary thing called gravity that makes everything stick to this spinning ball flying through space faster than a speeding bullet. And it's absolutely opposite of the truth. Everything is totally inverted in this world. You have to realize that most things that they teach us, not everything, but most things that they can mess with, they invert. In other words, it's completely backwards. Since you're a baby, you go into the classroom, and what's the thing you see on the teacher's table? An apple. An apple. Where does that come from? Genesis chapter 3. When Eve bit the fruit from the serpent. They start us off in a brainwashing process at a very, very young age. And I make these videos to break the spells off of people. That's what it is. It's spells. It's actually modern day witchcraft. It's a strong delusion that Christians are not supposed to be a part of. And the only reason that there is air pressure or gas pressure where we are living on Earth is because it is sealed off. It is covered with what the Bible calls the firmament, and it covers the flat Earth like a tent for us to dwell in. You cannot have gas pressure or air pressure, whatever you want to call it. You cannot have pressure without a seal or a cover. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verses 20 and 21, the King James Bible. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called, which some professing have erred concerning the faith. Grace be with thee. Amen. So we have the Bible directly warning us of science falsely so called. What does that mean? That means that they call it science, but they're doing it falsely. It's not real science. That is exactly what we are dealing with today. That is what makes the most atheists. Evolution and the Big Bang, false cosmology and evolution. That's what it is. And this is the Bible warning us. Yet rarely do we hear Christians talk about false science. The farthest that they go is evolution. Big deal. If you still believe that we're a ball flying through space, that is the result of the Big Bang. So just because you accept half of it, well, you know, you're a hypocrite. You accept the product of the Big Bang, but you don't accept the Big Bang. Makes no sense whatsoever. It's time for Christians to wake up and start speaking out against science falsely so-called. Because they don't teach science falsely so-called in churches, they teach them in the schools. Very rarely do we see Christians going to schools and complaining about things like this. Yeah, we always see these street preachers going to these churches that are false and stuff like this. Why aren't they going to the schools? Why isn't anybody pointing out that the Bible is actually talking about something that is not taught in a church building? Science is not taught in a church building. Science is taught in a school building. So where is Satan working? Mostly in the schools. This is what creates the most atheists and the most agnostics, at least in this country, is evolution and the Big Bang. The idea that nothing exploded and created everything. It was all random, and over billions of years, here we are spinning through space on a flying ball with water sticking to it, which is so anti-science. It's so anti-common sense, but yet we all send our kids to school every day indoctrinated with the same lie. Forget about the churches. Satan doesn't even need the churches. You don't start kids at 5 years old going to church mandatory. You start them at 5 years old going mandatory to the public school system. And this lie they even teach in the Christian school systems, and it makes no sense whatsoever. So where is Satan really working out of mainly? The school systems. Of course, why wouldn't he? The school systems is where we get our education, all of us, and it's mandatory. Your parents can actually go to jail for not sending you to this false curriculum, this false school system. You can't go to jail for not sending your kid to church, but yet the schools you can go to jail for. Think about why that is.
So I'll give it up all.